Hello and welcome to Tara's Reality. Today's recap is of Abbey and Janice, Beauty and the Best, Episode 2, London Calling / Welcome to My World. Abbey finally arrives in Los Angeles from Liverpool and is eager to start this, in her words, surreal journey. Abbey meets up with Janice at the beach to review her portfolio that she shot in the last episode. And of course, Janice is hypercritical, insulting, and harsh.
Your fingernails look disgusting. That's why I was screaming at you for your fucking manicure, stupid.
And tells Abbey to always have her nails done, which is the only constructive feedback we've heard so far, and something I also do as part of my maintenance as a freelance model. Abbey says she doesn't like the photos either, calling them cheap and amateurish. Personally, I think she has some good shots in there, but others could be replaced or taken out completely. And just like in the last episode, Abbey is trying to take Janice's advice despite her harsh delivery. Janice points out how Abbey makes the same dead facial expression in every photo, but Abbey knows why she didn't do her best.
I wasn't concentrating on producing a good shot that day. I was concentrating on not to cry.
Although Janice is responsible for the bad vibes, she wants Abbey to set aside her personal problems so they don't compromise her ability to model. As the saying goes, leave it at the door, which can be easier said than done. Because it's reality TV, Janice conveniently recommends that Abbey take acting lessons to improve her skills, as being pretty simply isn't enough, and something I also agree with. But anyways, Abbey meets Michelle Danner, one of Hollywood's top acting coaches with over a decade of experience. She shows Michelle her portfolio and immediately begins to self-deprecate by regurgitating the same bullshit spewed by Janice earlier. Which is honestly kind of sad because it's as if Abbey is trying to put herself down before anyone else can. Gee, I wonder why. Michelle instructs Abbey to create characters in her mind from different energies of the body, such as moving her hips to embody the spirit of Elvis. But Abbey feels too shy and says,
I feel like such a divvy.
Which is British slang for stupid. You learn something new every day. Speaking of which, even if Janice isn't a great mentor, at least there's other people around Abbey to actually help her.
I hope that she can learn to trust herself more and understands that she can feed herself certain images and she can feed herself thoughts.
Which is legitimately good advice. When I'm modeling, I try to have an inner monologue to help my facial expressions come from a deep, genuine place. And acting training and experience, which I have, definitely helps with that. Again, easier said than done, practice makes perfect, etc. The next day, Janice takes Abbey on an early morning hike to show her different ways of being active so Abbey can stay in shape.
I don't feel like going on this hike, but I'm doing it because I have to keep my saggy white ass off the back of my kneecaps.
The ladies talk about the acting class, then Janice tells Abbey that she's sending her out to meet 3 modeling agencies. Of course, Abbey feels nervous, and Janice has the audacity to tell her to stop self-deprecating while unnecessarily mocking Abbey's accent.
Oh, I'm a fat. You're not fat. Well, we smoke too much. Stop smoking.
This really is Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss the show. Because again, I believe Abbey being so hard on herself is mostly a result of Janice constantly putting her down. Abbey's first meeting is with James Charles. No, not that one. At LA Models. He thinks she has a commercial look that's also great for swimsuit and lingerie modeling. When Abbey asks about losing weight, James says,
it comes down to what's healthy for you.
Yeah.
You know your body better than I do, better than anybody else is going to. So if it means you need to watch what you eat or go to the gym, that's up to you and, the requirements of this business.
Which I was pleasantly surprised to hear. Of course, every agency and model is different, as we'll see later on, and some jobs do require specific physical attributes or measurements. After taking a couple Polaroids and showing James her walk, Abbey starts feeling more confident. She also meets Ryan Kelly, another model scout of the agency, who suggests that Abbey revamps her portfolio to include clean beauty shots so clients can see the blank canvas they have to work with.
They don't want to see it with like feathers in your hair and gold foil on your face. You know what I mean? That's always fun to shoot, but you know, a client is like, wow, we want to see what she really looks like.
Which again is legitimately good advice and something I was also told by one of my model friends before I started my career. Per Janice's requests, Abbey calls her afterwards and tries to relay the feedback, but surprise, Janice couldn't care less. Because that's how mentors are supposed to act, right? Perhaps this was meant to make Abbey feel insecure or upset, but luckily she just seems confused. Abbey's next meeting is with Marie Serrano at John Casablanca's, where the feedback is more critical. Marie suggests Abbey wear retainers to help straighten out her crooked bottom teeth. She also meets Lily Molina, and the lady suggests that Abbey change her hair back to its natural color, which according to Abbey is very dark, almost black-brown, and opt for an asymmetrical bob to give her an edge that will help her stand out in the oversaturated market. When Abbey says her boyfriend is the only thing holding her back from moving to LA, the ladies encourage her to prioritize her modeling career.
Boyfriends, they come and go. Your career, that's a chance of a lifetime.
I've talked a little bit about relationships and the entertainment industry in my Newlyweds Nick and Jessica Season 1 recap, and the topic is a bit too nuanced for me to fully cover in this video, but here's what I'll say for now. I know it's reality TV, but moving to another country for work is a big decision that Abbey and her boyfriend should have discussed prior to her being on the show. She even admits later in the episode that she hadn't considered moving or if she'd ever have to choose between the two. Depending on how serious the relationship is, I believe it's important to consider your partner's feelings as it relates to boundaries working in the entertainment industry. Happiness, love, and companionship are important. But I agree with the ladies that Abbey shouldn't let anyone stand in her way, especially if they're unsupportive. Trust me, I would know. After all, it's probably easier to find a romantic partner than to become a world-famous supermodel. In her confessional, Abbey defends her relationship as it means a lot to her.
I think you can have a career and your boyfriend and balance the two.
Then Abbey shows the ladies her walk, and after a few notes about maintaining a confident composure, Marie asks,
When are you coming to LA? When are you moving out here?
No!
Abbey's last meeting is with Jackie Salem, the head booker at Elite Models, to which she's incredibly nervous about. Side note, Janice was apparently the first American female model signed with them. Similar to the feedback from John Casablanca's, Jackie suggests that Abbey change her hair to look more rich, classy, and expensive, which would better complement her facial features, and again, help Abbey stand out from the crowd. And similar to the feedback from LA Models, Jackie thinks Abbey could do well and has a great body for swimsuit and lingerie modeling. Jackie also emphasizes the importance of wellness and fitness as it relates to longevity.
Working out and dieting and, drinking lots of water and taking care of your body is the most important part of having a career that is actually going to last.
She also tells Abbey that they'd be interested in representing her if she can manage to get a visa, move to the area, etc., which obviously excites Abbey. After taking a few Polaroids, Abbey is really feeling herself and still can't believe that such a high-profile agency wants to represent her, especially after how horribly she's been treated by her mentor, Janice Dickinson, so far. I was relieved to hear positive, encouraging, and validating feedback from the agencies. Even when they were being critical, no one's delivery felt harsh or nasty, since that would be unprofessional, right, Janice? I know it's reality TV and Janice is being a menace on purpose, but this episode has been such a breath of fresh air compared to the last one. Side note, this scene of them saying goodbye is kind of funny and awkward.
Pleasure meeting you.
And you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Abby calls Janice to tell her the good news, and to my surprise, Janice is actually happy for her. Then she says what we all knew already.
couldn't have done it without you.
You do it so much more without me.
Of course, Janice later humbles her, saying that getting representation doesn't guarantee a career, which is true and something I can attest to, as I've been signed to agencies and management companies before. At least Abbey seems to have a positive attitude about her experience so far.
It's made all the lows and all Janice's hard advice just pay off big time, and if I had to go through that for this, I'm so glad.
We then cut back to Janice and Abbey hanging out at the beach, where Abbey describes LA to be alien to her and very different from Liverpool.
It's fantastic. It's such a change from the cold weather where I am. It's just unreal. I love it.
What's weird about this scene is that despite being filmed before Abby's acting class and agency meetings, Janice asks her what she's learned so far. Like, are we supposed to believe that this took place after everything? Maybe it's just cheap and lazy editing. Then Janice says,
I am not a bitch. I'm truthful.
Yeah.
And if you can't handle the truth, you won't be able to make it. That's just the way it is.
I said it in the last recap, and I'll say it again. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. You can still be honest with someone without being rude or hurtful in your delivery. I know Janice's behavior is supposed to be over the top and cruel for the sake of entertainment, although it's really not that fun to watch. I wonder if the producers stepped in and toned down the chaos from the last episode. Just listen to the advice she gives Abbey.
If you could give me, like, one single piece of advice for starting out, what would it be?
Breathe.
Breathe.
Just breathe.
Like, where did that come from? Keeping the agency's feedback in mind, Abbey meets with Gabe and Duke to change her hair. I was disappointed to hear Duke say,
We're gonna take you blonde.
since 1, she's already blonde, and 2, the majority of agencies suggested something totally different from the look she already has. But then again, it's also unclear if Abbey will actually sign a contract or not. So they remove her old clip-in hair extensions and get to work. Despite saying she'll do whatever it takes to be a model, Abbey is nervous about her hair getting damaged or turning out bad. When they apply product to her eyebrows for the sake of matching the new hair color and tell her to wait 10 minutes for it to process, Abbey becomes anxious halfway through and wipes it off. I understand her anxiety, but it's rude to go against a professional's instruction because it gives the impression that you either don't trust them or think you know better. Even if, let's say, production encouraged her to do it for the plot, Abbey then peeks at her hair before it's done and starts freaking out.
It was like leopard's print. I had chunks of black, chunks of orange, chunks of bleach blonde all over, so I was like, shit.
Once she calms down, Gabe and Duke put on the finishing touches to her new look, and thankfully, Abbey loves it. She does look noticeably different, although I still wish her transformation was more dramatic. And that's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts about everything we just watched and any fun facts or anecdotes related to the show down in the comment section. Please like this video if you did, and subscribe for more nostalgia and reality TV recaps. Bye!